Well, welcome to Championship Saturday here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, as the FIFAe World Cup featuring eFootball Mobile. 12 nations joined us 3 days ago, and now only 2 remain. Brazil and Thailand. It's South America versus Asia, and there can only be one winner. Wowza, well hello. If knockout eFootball was exciting yesterday, hold on to your seats. It's going to get even more intense today as we approach our grand finals. And joining me, as always, are my 3 beautiful guests next to me, Chris Khan, Aliyah Harvey and Abdulaziz. Welcome back. It's not just the 3 of them though. I'm not sure if you can see behind me, we have a live audience as well today. The intensity is just going up once again. That's intense, not just for us, but for the players as well, guys.
Yeah, completely different atmosphere to what they've had. They've had their coaches behind them, of course, and that excitement there. But you haven't had everybody who's starting to pack out this arena in anticipation for this grand final surrounding you, by the way. I'm sure we're going to be talking about it, but very, very different atmosphere.
It's loud as well down there. I can hardly hear myself.
It's so incredibly loud. I think that's where the mental strength is really going to come in today, because they're going to have to be able to block out all that noise, because that is insane.
It's not just the audience, Abdulaziz. We've also got a different setup on the stage as well. Today, the players are sitting in the middle on an elevated platform, and they're facing each other.
Oh, wow. I mean, we have absolutely one of the best, I would say, stage in the world, because we see the 2 of the very best players. And also today we have the crowd, which I believe that they will make a huge difference. I'm really looking forward to see what will happen today.
Abdulaziz is our world champion from 2015. If you had a setup like this in 2015, would you still have been able to be as cool as ice like you are now sitting with us?
Honestly, this setup is like insane, because we can enjoy every single aspect of it, even if you are an audience or as a player. But yeah, I mean, it's completely different. Yes, I have been in that situation before, and I lived that moment. Honestly, I cannot blame the players if they feel a little bit of pressure, because it's the world's biggest stage and also the final game.
Do you think there was any sleep had for either of our 2 grand finalists last night, both of you guys?
Well, I think at least we're starting a little bit later. That you might have had the opportunity to, but no, it would have been a nervous old sleep in the hotel, definitely.
It's hard, isn't it, to quieten the noise, especially when you're alone in your room at night, you know, trying to get that vital rest ahead of a grand final.
Yeah, in Thailand, he quite often doesn't play with headsets on either, and that's worked for him throughout the tournament. If he makes the choice not to do it again today, which it does look like that's what he's going to do, it's going to be so much harder, but also much more impressive if he does win it all.
A lot of the players at the moment, they're sat there as well, just in the booths, which they're going to be playing on in a few moments' time. Maybe just getting used to that atmosphere and the environment. How important is that?
Of course, because you need to see everything when you are on the stage. Earlier today, I saw that João, the player of Brazil, on the console, was talking to the mobile player, which is Juninho. And of course, they know that really this is really important, because I think João won. I believe that he won before, so he's trying to help his teammate here.
Yeah, and obviously they're not in it, so any extra help you can get is very much needed, Chris.
100%. I think, you know, we've seen this quite a lot when we have been here for FIFA. The console and the mobile players all helping their other players out in the same nation, constantly giving support. Brazil have had the loudest support. They might be drowned out a little bit today, though.
I want to be taken back to 2015 and to the day of your championship final day. I don't want you to tell me about what happened when you were gaming, because we know what happened. You became a world champion. I want you to tell everyone about your morning and how you're able to deal with the nerves and the pressure.
Oh yes, I remember that day very well, because we started the morning with normal, let's say, breakfast, and then I was chilling a little bit before we head to the conference. And I remember when the reporter asked me, what do you think of today? And I told him, I will win it all. So I was really confident, and I knew that I can do it. I believe, I'm sure if we can ask one of these 2 players, what do you think about today? I'm pretty sure let's say the one who is a little bit more confident, I think he will more likely to go through.
I mean, that's what a lot of top sports athletes say as well. You know, they just had that feeling on the day of a big competition or a tournament. They knew they were going to win. Alia, I know also you've represented England at the Commonwealth Games. Take me back to when you were competing and what were the nerves like before your final match?
I mean, it was a lovely rainy morning in Birmingham, typical Brummie weather. But I remember I don't really like eating in the morning before I compete, just because I don't want to get an upset stomach. But we got to the arena, similar setup to this, but on opposite ends of the stage, so not as intense. We had a crowd as well, but didn't surround us, so it's very, very different. But I remember just trying to be calm and thinking, I just need to get at least a bronze medal here, and I've done something good for my country.
Wow. And that you did as well. Chris, I know obviously as well when you log into your computer and you're going up against some of your friends online, are the nerves starting to hit then as well? How do you control them?
Well, how I control them is a cup of tea, Rachel, usually, because I'm just sat in my room. But look, I think, you know, I've been around situations. Yes, I've been around situations like this, and how players handle it. It's a big indicator which way it's going to go. I kind of think when we're thinking about the energy of these two players and how they both react, you've seen Brazil consistently. He's getting up, he's screaming, they have the celebration, he has his fans with him. Whereas John Carter from Thailand is a lot more calm in his celebrations, that kind of thing. I think it's going to lean Brazil's way, this kind of atmosphere, and that will probably help him, but I'm curious to see how John Carter will try and deal with it.
Completely different personalities you're going to see today, and we're going to do a deep dive into them a little bit more in a few moments' time. But I wonder who the audience are favouring in terms of personality. Are they going for Brazil or Thailand? You know, what kind of a personality do they like to see? And that will probably give us a good indication of the Axe Player of the Day from yesterday, who maybe the audience are rooting for as well. I think we probably knew that. The Brazilian flair, the Brazilian energy. A surprise that we got?
Not at all.
Juninho as our Axe Player of the Day. Why? You can't just shake your heads at me.
For me, it is not surprise because, honestly, I mean, Brazil has got it all in football. In terms of, let's say, history, talent, even the performance that he showed throughout the tournament. The guy is winning everyone. And I think, Ali, we were just mentioned that he only lost and drew against the one who is going to face him in the final, which is the Thailand player. But anyway, I think it will be so hard for both of these players, and hopefully we will have an amazing final.
But definitely a deserved player of the day. I think, you know, when we talk about the games and the stress that he had to go through to get into this final, I know we'll touch on the form going into this, so to speak, a little bit more later, but it really was the grind for Brazil. Two different golden goals he had to win to get to this final. Really went through it.
Yeah, exactly. Two very different stories, two very different players, two very different nations. I could go on, but we will rewrite history with these two teams and these two players in a few moments' time. It is so loud down there. The smoke machine's just gone off as well. It's all happening on the floor. The audience are going to be absolutely loving what they're seeing. If they're not already, it's crazy down there, guys. You want to come next year, that's for sure. Let's talk about these players in, again, a little bit more detail, because we've been doing something about the heart rate monitors this year, having a deep dive into the two players. They're two different heart rates, tell their personalities, Chris, don't they? They
absolutely do. We were having a little look at some of the different dynamics around some of their heart rates and how they react to certain things. On a level, it's kind of John Carter is just pretty much the same. Very, very hyped for the majority of the time, but he stays pretty steady throughout. I mean, this was in particular one of his games that he did go through, and he doesn't necessarily have any massive peaks. That one in between was a little bit of a pause, so you can see that things had sort of settled down at that stage. But for the most part, he stays pretty steady. He's no highs or lows through his ups and downs. Pretty steady all the way through. However, on the other side of things,
it's a very different story.
It's a very, very different story. Juninho is all over the place when he scores. To be fair, that's something that we kind of do see quite often, in the sense of that he does get up and celebrate. He's screaming, he's looking at his friends in the stands who will be right next to him this time and having a look at them, and that's when you're seeing all the spikes come through. So more of a steady heart rate from John Carter, but Juninho, he's up and down all over the place.
But it hasn't affected them in any different ways though, Alia, has it?
No, I don't think so. And it's interesting on the Thailand side because culturally, Asians tend to be a lot calmer in general. So it's not fully surprising seeing his heart rate's quite steady. Brazilians, we know, they're very passionate people. They love energy. They love the crowd. And as you've mentioned earlier, if he plays it right, this is going to go to Jorginho's advantage because he's going to rile that crowd up today.
That's interesting because if Chomkata isn't used to this environment, how does he make it normal? How does he normalize it for himself?
Oh yeah, I think he played insanely well throughout this tournament, especially yesterday. The guy is like very focused, very chill, and he always come back in the game, even when he is losing. And that's why he is really good at it. And also, he is one of those guys who can create chances in every single aspect. He can go to the wing easily, and he can create many chances also from the middle.
Can he create a chance like that though in this environment? That's the question. Like, can he shut out the noise?
That's the good question here because now you can see crowd, you can see cameras everywhere, you can see the media, you can see everyone. So, are you going to forget about all of that and only focus about your game? Or maybe let that distract you and get you out of the zone?
It's hard to keep a focus up here, let alone down there, guys. I'm going to tell you that as well. And talking of keeping a focus, let's see if CJ and apparently Cole can keep a straight face and focus down there because they have apparently got a report for you guys.
Thanks, Rachel, mate. Really excited to be here. I just hope Australia win.
Oh, I'm Cole. Give me that, you silly Aussie. Just kidding. It's CJ, joined by Cole here outside the arena for the grand final day of the FIFAe World Cup. The crowd is packing inside the arena. The second edition as well, and it looks bigger and better.
Yeah, it's Brazil against Thailand. Chomkata versus Jorginho. It's going to be fantastic. I love eFootball. We've truly fallen in love with this eSport over the last couple of years.
And we absolutely love these Panini cards as well. If you guys are watching the stream, you get a chance to win a card of the players, not of us. So make sure you guys are tuning in, watching throughout the day. But it's electric. Can't wait to get back in there.
Let's do it. Take it away, Desk. I did your job for you.
I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words after those two. What are they like? Two clowns, right?
Complete
Yeah, well,
clowns.
more than fair, more than fair.
But they're not wrong. You know, it's a great atmosphere and they're kind of just building to it. I'm surprised actually they're not in there, but then I'm not because it's too loud. They probably can't hear each other speak. The atmosphere is rising with every minute that passes, Chris.
Yeah, it's getting really rowdy in here. Actually, you can see we've got a couple of people coming in and riling up the crowd, but they'll be getting really loud for each team. I think there'll be support for both as well. And of course, you've got the families from Brazil going to be trying to rile the crowd in their favor as well. You've got the Thailand favorite there as well. There's so many people who want this to be a loud game. Thailand probably want it to be a little quiet, though, if
Probably.
possible. Yeah.
Well, this is the fourth day of competition, of course. Let's just remind everybody how these two nations got here to the grand final today. Okay, well, this is from knockouts, of course. Let's just look at the top of the screen. That's Brazil. They ousted Greece there, and that wasn't an easy ride, and neither was Egypt, Alia.
No, I think Brazil are prone to conceding at the last minute, and it's interesting because both of their games went to golden goal, and today they don't really have a chance for that because you want to secure it over the two legs. Whereas they mentioned Thailand, they're the only team that have actually managed to beat Brazil in this tournament, so it's going to be an electric final.
Abdulaziz, and you can take us through Thailand down the bottom. They
Yes.
obviously had to beat Japan. Some people had Japan as a favourite to go and win this whole thing, and then they knocked out the defending champion.
Yes, I mean, beating Japan, let's say in a golden goal, I mean, that was the game that they struggled a lot, but they managed to go through it. Against Malaysia, the reigning champion, we saw him yesterday. He was really good. He was beating everyone. He was scoring goals, but he couldn't do that against Thailand, where he showed his very best, and that's what made the difference. I think today he know that he will face the same player he faced in the group stage. Is he going to change the formation, the tactics? That's what we'll see today.
Tough route for both of our finalists, of course. And let's just remind everybody at home what's at stake in terms of money, because, of course, it's the pride of becoming a world champion, but it's nice to go home with some money as well. The runner-up today gets $18,000, and then if you win, well, you add $12,000 to that, and you get 30. So a brilliant amount of money along the line as well. Loads to play for. Absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Okay, well, the players we know, the nations we know. I want to have a bit of a deep dive into their routes a little bit further back on day 1 and day 2, because we only just showed you there the knockouts on day 3. So I'll start with Thailand, Alia, with yourself. Can you just tell everyone how they progressed through the knockouts?
And Thailand and Brazil were both in the same groups. They finished second in their Group A, and in the matches as well, Brazil, they only dropped points against Thailand. Thailand won one game and they drew the other game, which coming into this for Jonkata surely gives him a lot more confidence. But we've seen him with his consistency as well. He's a little bit, in terms of attacking, he doesn't score as much. He takes his time, but in his knockout game against Malaysia, all 4 chances he converted and he scored. So I think we're going to see Jonkata playing a lot more defensively today, especially against the Brazilian who just loves to attack.
I mean, it's crazy that we're getting to see them go up against each other for the 3rd time in 4 days. This is exactly what happens at a World Cup, and we are so here for it. Okay, well, it is Brazil-Thailand coming your way in about 15 minutes' time, and our casters who'll be calling this mega grand final for you are these 2 lovely chaps.
What was that, Ray?
Stuart Wesley.
I can't hear you.
And
Sorry,
Harry
you got
Cannon.
to speak up,
I can't
Rach.
shout any louder.
It's too loud in this arena, Rach. Let
I
me
will
tell
blow out
you.
the audience's ears. I'm sorry, guys.
It's great to see you. You're all looking dapper there in the studio. Yes, Wes, the energy in this arena today is fully game for this final. It's been an amazing past couple of 3 days. And let me tell you, the results along the way have given us nothing but drama, setting us up for what is an epic final happening on that stage in about 15 minutes.
You're far too excited, Harry. Let me try and cool you down a little bit. But yeah, you're quite right. These are the moments that not only we live for, but these players will live for too. You can certainly hear the atmosphere. You can certainly feel it. It's almost the vibration coming through the floor. It's set up to be an absolute grandstand finish here.
I'm looking forward, Rach, to see if we will see any Chomkata celebrations. We all know the Janino. Will we see anything from Thailand? Time
Guys,
will tell.
who do you think has the ability to shut out the noise? Because we've mentioned how noisy it is in there. Is it Brazil? Is it Thailand?
Hopefully you, so that you can actually hear what we're saying. I don't know if you caught any of that, but let me tell you, probably Janino. I mean, look at how he came here along the way. 2 golden goals in both the quarterfinals and the semi-finals. He's here. He's alive, but he's picked up some scrapes along the way. For me, Wes, it's probably Brazil.
Yeah, I think he likes to embrace the chaos. He embraces the emotion of the event. And, you know, we had a brief look where he was kind of going along the front row trying to, you know, kind of get some favour with the locals, and he certainly looked to tap into that. Of course, Saudi Arabia, massive fans of Brazil as a historically brilliant football nation, but Thailand, of course, they have their own way of doing things, so it's that real clash of cultures, that real clash of styles, really.
Yeah, we'll see, Rach. Time will tell in just under 15 minutes.
Thank you, guys. We'll speak to you shortly. Thanks so much for that little bit of an insight. Yeah, they're just behind us as well, so they're on the same level here. They've got the same vantage point as we do. The nerves, I'm sure, but them 2 are starting to rise as well. You guys getting nervous for this one? How are you feeling?
A little antsy, a little
bit.
just, you know, just a little bit. I think it's always the same in a grand final day. You're coming in, you're like, oh yeah, this feels big, doesn't it? The whole setup of everything.
Does it bring back memories for you 2 as well from when you competed?
Just a little bit, because I remember we did have a crowd, and every time I scored, the entire England camp would cheer, and it was really reassuring. And it's more so as well, when they played the national anthem beforehand, you just stood on stage just trying to keep your emotions together and thinking, at that time, God save the Queen, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's time.
This fight would have been cool.
Oh yeah, for me here, I will be a little bit chill, but over there, believe me, I was under huge pressure, and I cannot blame these players if they have that pressure again.
I don't believe you, because you're always cool. Right, shall we get to it? I think we are ready to welcome out our 2 nations, our 2 brilliant players, our 2 brilliant eFootball Mobile grand finalists.
And now it's time for the grand final of the FIFAe World Cup 25 featuring eFootball Mobile. Let's now welcome our finalists, Brazil and Thailand! Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able to for the national anthem of Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, stay up if you're able to for the national anthem of Thailand.
What an introduction to both nations and to both players there. I'm sure the nerves were going then. It's a pretty nerve-wracking arena. It's loud, it's bright, there's fans. It's an occasion which doesn't come around very often, and one which they really need to be able to handle if they are to be crowned world champions.
Yeah, it's a really crucial part of being a competitor in an esports, in a sports environment. You need to be able to hand certain situations just like this. It's such a crucial part. You have to have everything within you to be able to block out that noise or use that noise. And, well, I think we've got two players who are able to do that, but on different ends of the scale.
Is this an expected grand final setup we've got here?
I would say so. I think they're two of the more consistent players throughout the tournament, and just looking into the studio as well, what's really interesting is the Brazilian team have huddled in with all of the Brazilian fans together, and that goes to show the support that they have. And I don't know, it's just one of those things you look at and it's a beautiful sight.
Chris, I'm going to quickly come back to you because Alia went through how Thailand got here and what they did in the group stages. Can you just remind us how Brazil got up?
So Brazil came through the group stages first in their group, going through 8 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. And then as they got into the quarterfinals, they went up against Greece, golden goal. They went up against Egypt, golden goal. He has really went through the ringer. It's been a real grind to get here. And he has made some mistakes. That's one thing I kind of want to point out here when it does come down to these games. Both in the game against Greece and Egypt, he was leading with mere seconds to go and conceded. And he was able to overcome that every single time. So he is able to make mistakes and then make up for them. He won both those games at golden goal.
Abdulaziz, though, he was very ruffled after the mistake, especially against Egypt. It took him a very long time in golden goal to get that winner. It was almost like he had to reset and relax. Did you get that vibe?
Oh yes, I mean he was under a huge pressure, especially against someone who is probably in his same team, which is Team Stallions. So beating him after conceding, let's say, from a very silly mistake, something that he will never and he cannot do here, especially in the final. Because if you do it here, there is absolutely no way back to come back to the game.
For Juninho, well, actually, let's talk about Chomkata because we're seeing him now. We've talked about, he's got so much talent, but he's needed a bit of luck. Have we seen him actually been gifted any luck during this tournament, or has it just been hard work and grit, Alia?
I think it's just been hard work, and it showed when he came up against Malaysia in the semi-finals. That's the current world champion, and as we mentioned earlier, every time he took the shot at goal, he scored it. So I think his calmness is probably his biggest advantage, but I don't think it's luck.
He's not only associated as Chomkata with Thailand, obviously his nation, but Buriram United as well. They're a football team in Thailand. I've actually watched a match in their stadium. He's going to have the support of not just the nation, but that football team and obviously his friends and family behind him, Chris.
Yeah, and one thing I will always say when I come to these kind of events, I work so many different esports events at different games, and seeing teams who are part of a team is all very well, but when you are part of a place, when you are part of Brazil, Thailand, your country, you're representing them. And I think it just seems to mean that little bit more. Like we've seen sort of the gathering there with the Brazilian players, staff, everybody. And it really strikes me every single time, the emotional difference for these guys. Yes, okay, it's all very well playing for your organization and all that kind of thing, and of course playing for your team, but playing for your nation, playing for a team like they do, it means so much more.
On the other side of the spectrum, though, how stressful is it to have Ronaldo Nazario liking a picture of your haircut? Because that's exactly what we've seen with Brazil and Juninho.
Yes, I am a huge fan of R9, so to see that the haircut, it shows, a lot of emotions for me. But at this stage, at this very moment, these players, they know every single thing about the tactics, about the formation, about the way they will play. But the only thing that they will really need to focus on is their mental side, because you have to be calm. You know how you are going to start the game, let's say in the first 15-30 minutes in game time, and that's where everything will be decided.
How much homework, Abdulaziz, did you do on your opposition back in 2015? He was Julien from France?
Yes.
How much homework did you have to do before you went up against him?
I had to go through a lot of things, but Julien is the only player that he beats me a lot before that World Cup. So we faced in France, we faced in Madrid. He was winning me every single time. But the only time that I managed to beat him, that was in the 2015. But now it's completely different. These players maybe they have gone through the same thing where Juninho lost twice or probably once against the Thailand player, but now is the time.
And there was actually another instance last year as well, where Juninho played in another tournament. Me, Harry, and Alex were there actually in a grand final, and he went up against Thailand. It wasn't the same player, I will say that. It wasn't the same player, but Juninho went on to lose in the final minute.
Oh,
that could be something in his brain, but it wasn't the same player.
Let's put all those previous results behind us. None of that matters now, because the time is now. It is time for the FIFAe World Cup Grand Finals featuring eFootball Mobile. Brazil, they're taking on Thailand. Juninho taking on Chomkata. Let's hand over to your casters for this one, Stuart Wesley and Harry Channon.
I wait for play in FIFAe World Cup long time. Me sinto muito bem, né? Me preparei os últimos meses aí para essa competição, uma competição muito importante.
I met him in 2 times in group stage. Yeah, he is a big player because he last world champion.
Vai ser muito emocionante, né? Conseguir ganhar meu segundo título mundial consecutivo
I want to be champion because this is my dream. I think it's dream come true.
Acho que vai ser um jogo muito difícil, mas eu vou vencer a final.
I not play for myself, I play for my country.
Well, two nations battle here in the arena. One game, no escape and no second chances. It is Thailand against Brazil in our eFootball Mobile Grand Final. It's an early corner here, Wes, to Chomkata of Thailand. We'll keep an eye and see if there's an early chance for the War Elephants here. It's headed away. But this final, no doubt, will produce massive amounts of drama.
Yeah, this one is for all the marbles. No quarter will be given and none will be gained unless there are mistakes thrown in as Brazil have the ball.
Yeah, here is Juninho with CR7 trying to find Mbappe for him. I mentioned earlier at the top of the show, he picked up some scrapes along the way, did the Yellow Canary, but he survives, he is here. But the War Elephants of Thailand are ready to crush the dreams as CR7 tries to rise the highest out of all of them. It's a Thai corner.
Yeah, it had to come through a arduous task of taking down both Greece and Egypt with golden goals aplenty. Will he have to do it again here, Harry?
CR7 again on the header. We'll go for goal. It's pinballing around everywhere. And finally, Juninho clears the danger, survives what feels like the millionth scare of his tournament life. Chomkata starting this mobile final very brightly indeed. Of course, they were in the same group, and out of the 6 points available, Thailand picked up 4 of them. But that doesn't matter now. We're in best of 2. It's a 2-legged affair. Aggregate score across the 2 legs. And a golden goal if we're still tied. That's a stunning strike! Oh, and it's Thailand in first! Chomkata with a rocket! For Bangkok is about 4,000 miles east from where we are right now, Wes. This ball wasn't that much further away, look at this!
And it's still travelling if the net wasn't there for it. That's a thunderous hit from Chomkata. You'll see it again here, again. Brilliant little short pass into, I believe that's Alexander Sorloth. Lets the ball just get onto that half volley. Was a stunning stroke. You'll see that purple power bar. And my word, what a hit.
What a hit from Chomkata. And that'll ease some of the nerves, perhaps in the nervous system, not in the heart though, over 180. Now, what can the world champion of this year's Konami World Finals produce in response? Headed down towards Cristiano Ronaldo, he's still giving this one a good go. He's on the ball now for Juninho, can't get a good enough strike away. Half an hour gone. And both players really going at each other here.
Yeah, neither one of them knows the reverse gear as Brazil look to bring this one over halfway with Mbappe. There won't be any defensive play here, folks, you don't feel, as the ball goes into the channel, but it's over here, Harry. But spy the heart rate on Chomkata.
That'll be the adrenaline. Would have been a long, long night's sleep. A long time since he played that semi-final yesterday. He would have been dreaming of this start. As for Brazil, well, it's the same situation Juninho found himself in at the end of the Fame Your Game Cup in 2024. That was back in our home country. He succumbed to Thailand 2-1 on that occasion, and Chongkata, well, he'd love to join the ranks. That's a double touch and a nice stunning strike. A late corner in the first half here for Thailand.
Yeah, you can see Chongkata, he's just looking to try and bait Juninho to come out and to try and meet him, because of course when you leave those gaps behind, you're allowing Thailand to just move that ball in, and they are picking their right moments to attack as we close in on this first half.
Del Piero standing over the corner towards Tonali. Oh, it could go anywhere. Well, Brazil can't wait for this first half to end. They might get one more chance, but, well, they've delivered it right back on a plate here to Thailand, and it will be another corner. Juninho just needs to steady himself here.
Yeah, he does. He's got one more corner potentially to deliver, or to deal with here, from the delivery of Alessandro Del Piero. But again, you don't want to go and concede just before half-time.
Terrible time to concede, and, well, he almost did just then. That heart rate has stayed right there. Chongkata in dreamland. Here in Riyadh. No doubt this will be the last kick of the first half. Or perhaps one more attack if the ball can continue to venture forward. No, the first half of our final ends Thailand 1, Brazil 0.
First blood to the war elephants of Thailand. Chongkata, again, it's a brilliant piece of skill to just get it just on that half volley. That stunning strike took it away from Brazil. Juninho is going to have to regroup it quite quickly.
Yeah, chance here at half-time for our athletes to steady themselves. It's getting late over in Southeast Asia, approaching 8 p.m. Chongkata would love to reward those that stayed up to watch this with a World Cup trophy.
It wouldn't be a bad way to reward them, being staying up and getting into the later evening and choosing to view our grand final here. But we're back off and underway in the second half.
Del Piero. Coming on the
Indeed we are. Half-time substitutions made. It's a rare sight, perhaps Chongkata anticipating here. The ball will stay in play for the majority of this second half. Thailand in the blue shirts, Brazil in the trademark home strip. So recognisable, so famous at this point in time, and has been for many, many years. Roberto Carlos here near side. Thailand looking to continue this grand final in the way that they started it. Jan Koller is the target man for them now. Mbappe for Juninho. He's been very quiet in this grand final so far. Chongkata there on the far side. Swung in. It's CR7. What a save! It's at point-blank range, but the danger is not dealt with just yet by Juninho. Now, finally, CR7 can release some of the pressure. Dan Burn, what can he do in defensive duties? That was just a bit of a hodgepodge of an attack there by Juninho.
Yeah, just Juninho can't get his rubber to the road, so to speak, as long goal kick delivered downfield to that sizable human being of Jan Koller. Dumfries has won it back here, though, for Chongkata.
Cristiano Ronaldo for him. He's pressed early and strongly by Juninho. How quick and fast is Chongkata to react. Not giving Juninho any time or space to operate. He's having now to really work for this, Juninho. This is not going how he was expecting at all. Approaching the final 10 minutes of game one. A reminder, aggregate score, so this 1-0 lead will continue into the second leg. Cristiano Ronaldo here trying to make it 2 here for Thailand! Sean Cutter, take a bow! What a goal!
As we say back home, Harry, that is different gravy. That is a wonderful bit of skill, and you could just see Sean Cutter just waiting for his moment to execute it. I thought when that ball goes into Ronaldo, he's kind of struggling to find his fingers on the phone. Of course he wasn't. He was just waiting. You'll see it here again. He just waits, baits Juninho into going to press. Wonderful spin move and a beautiful controlled strike into that far corner. 2-0 up are Thailand and Sean Cutter, and that very much changes things going into game 2.
That is borderline disrespectful from Sean Cutter. In the final 10 minutes of leg 1. Well, the studio was wondering, how will this crowd impact our players? Some doubts perhaps about that man. He says, doubt me now. Look at this scoreline, 2-0. Thailand lead Brazil.
His heart rate says one thing for Sean Cutter, his actions say very much another. It looks as though he is firing on all cylinders, but to execute a move like that in a FIFAe World Cup final, ice in the veins from that young man. Juninho is going to have some work to do for the rest of this game, mind you, because there's still a little bit of time. But going into game 2, he's going to have to go, right, mental reset. Let's go again. It's been and gone because, of course, with the being aggregate score, Harry, I mean, he's going to have to go and win by at least 2 if the scoreline stays like this in game 2.
Well, if you've been joining us for the last 3 days, either in person or online, you know Juninho games often feature late goals.
Jan Koller. Number 3, Zai Emery. Coming on the field.
So let's see if there's any tactical changes here for Juninho and for Brazil. Perhaps a precursor to some of the tactics we might see in the second leg. But this first has been all Thailand, all Sean Cutter. Look, the heart rate has died down just a little bit.
Yeah, I think the pressure's a little bit off him now, despite the fact that he's 2 goals ahead against the reigning world champion. As we get 1 minute of added time here, Brazil might get one more shot here.
Last minute attack of leg number 1, Zico. Against Chiellini, beats his man, Bebeto into the box. Controlled strike, oh, good save. And that is the end of leg 1. Thailand will hold a 2-0 aggregate lead. Entering the second leg here in the SEF Arena in Riyadh.
Just a quick reminder today, please refrain from parking outside this stadium.
What can we say? What was that first leg? I'm almost as shell-shocked as Juninho no doubt is.
Well, it was 2 pieces of individual brilliance. We'll see it again with the highlights sponsored by Axe. And again, it could have been worse. 2 post-its cannoning everywhere in that box. But then you look into where this happens here. You'll see Sorloth just flicks it almost up to himself, volleys it home. Of course, Juninho just wasn't able to muster up that attacking flair that we'd seen. But, of course, it's the second that really told the story, Eric.
He's been so sharp all tournament long, Juninho, but what do you say about that? Even he knows that was a very, very special goal to score in this environment, in this stadium, in this incredible arena. And on this occasion, that's a moment of pure brilliance, no doubt will go down in the history books in eFootball mobile history.
I mean, it's hard enough to execute on a console. Imagine trying to do that with your thumbs on a mobile. It's quite brilliant, to say the very least. And even that adjective completely underplays what we saw in the environment, with having a live audience around him, with having the pressure of all of his country, as he said in his VT, I'm not playing for me, I'm playing for my country. And that just gives you that extra percentile, Harry.
Yeah, and Riquinho in the front row. Absolutely heartbroken yesterday, but Brazil's hopes remain alive. A rare bit of adversity we see Juninho, again, our 2025 domestic world champion of eFootball mobile, for Brazil. It's a bit of adversity that perhaps he's not used to seeing. Obviously, yesterday we mentioned the 2 golden goals in the knockout stages. Made it really, really difficult for himself, of course, against Greece and Egypt. Both games going 5-4, settled by that sudden death. Now we get to see what the world champion is made of.
Yeah, it's about finding something within yourself in these different scenarios. It's great when you're leading from the front. It's great when you're goals ahead. It's great when you're going into games and you've got goal advantages or game advantages. What can you muster up when the chips are down?
Well, last year's champions, Malaysia, they watch on, and perhaps they are cheering on the nation that dumped them out in the previous round, Thailand, their Southeast Asian comrades. There's Japan as well. Asia out in force here in Riyadh. And all of Asia's hopes, all of Thailand's hopes rest on the man on your screen's head.
Yeah, I was going to say, not to mention, of course, our reigning console champions Indonesia out. Reigning mobile champion Malaysia out. All of Southeast Asia's hopes now rest on Chomkata's shoulders, but at the moment he is showing that he has got every bit of strength to withhold and withstand and hold those hopes up high.
Our audience here in the arena enjoying what they saw in leg one. Something tells me Juninho will fight as hard as he possibly can for that trophy that stands at the top of the stairs, for what would be a historic victory. Never done before in the world of eFootball Mobile. 2 world titles in 1 year, but he's made it so difficult on himself after leg one.
He has, but if he's able to summon this could arguably be up there in your Mount Rushmore of greatest eFootball, esports comebacks. To be 2-0 down, and you know you've got to pick your level up, as you can hear your countrymen and women trying to G you up a bit. Can you go again? Can you go back to the well? Can you perform how you've performed all game and all tournament? As you see there, Japan's representative social with a Brazil shirt, certainly adopted nation and supporter.
An adopted canary. Just incredible scenes. Absolutely incredible scenes. And we should look at the form book, Wes. Of course, these two in the group stages. We mentioned they played each other twice. On day one, it was a 1-1 draw, but day two, let me tell you, Chomkata came out in fine form indeed. Well, the fist bumps are going in. That signals it's now or never time. Thailand leading Brazil going into the second leg. 90 more minutes of eFootball await us here, perhaps more if things go Brazil's way. Here in the mobile grand final. Moments measured in milliseconds. Here we go. Brazil's kickoff. They'll attack this right-hand goal, and they'll need to do lots of that. Here we go, Juninho. Starting things out almost exactly, Wes, as Thailand did in leg one.
Yeah, certainly come out of the blocks early. I think maybe he took too many double touches there. If he took the first one, took the strike, he might have had a better option to shoot. He's won himself a corner, though.
Corner within the first 5 minutes. An early goal would do a world of good to the world champion. Oh, look at that! And there is the early goal! We knew he would not give up! Juninho reminding us he is still in play for that trophy!
Hello Brazil, welcome to the pie, boys. Brilliant goal from Juninho, exactly what he needed for this scenario. Get a goal early, put some frighteners into Chomkata, and that is a very, very big goal. There's so much time for Juninho to go to work now. Chomkata has now got to figure out, what do I do? Do I go defensive? Do I go attacking? What do I do?
Game well and truly on. Thailand 2, Brazil 1. And with 85 odd minutes of eFootball Mobile to play, Juninho handed a lifeline, or rather, he's forced one upon himself. The heart rate looking a bit lower this time around for Juninho as well. Good blocking by Chomkata of Thailand. And he'll have his first real chance at possession here in leg 2.
Yeah, and this is where Chomkata's got to go to work, but he's giving the ball away here. Brazil have a break on here. Pavel Nedved charging towards goals. Cut it across to Kante. Is Mbappe. Mbappe to Kante.
Yeah, there's a chance there for Mbappe. Oh, it's wide.
How did he miss? How did he miss from there?
I think the whole arena is asking the same question. How did he miss?
Stunned. Absolutely stunned by that, Harry.
Oh, what a start to the second leg. Thailand venturing forward, Del Piero. Chomkata trying to venture forward here, but that's better defensive work this time, or is it? That's another mistake actually by Juninho, headed down. Del Piero saved! Thai corner. Both our athletes on the stage, leaving everything out there in this final.
Yeah, it's a big opportunity there for Chomkata and Thailand to poke their noses back in with that 2-goal advantage, but instead it's a good save for the goalkeeper. Chance is not yet gone though, Harry. This is a corner here.
Well, this is exactly how Brazil scored their goal. Can Chomkata imitate? Oh, it's going everywhere! It's Cristiano Ronaldo! It's the third Thailand goal!
After 22 minutes is number
Reinstating that 2-goal cushion. Chomkata equalises here in the second leg.
Yeah, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. So, again, drilled ball in towards that near post. It just causes chaos. It's bouncing around. Of course, Ronaldo's going to be the one to react the quickest. Post it home from 3 yards. And Chomkata has reasserted that 2-goal advantage.
And another mistake on the kickoff for Juninho. He's been here before in FIFA tournaments in the final for Brazil against Thailand. And Cristiano Ronaldo with a nice little pirouette. Oh, he strikes from distance as well. Forces the save. Just the press from Chomkata is wild. It's impressive how he's able to do this on mobile. Knocked on to Cristiano. Now 10 minutes from half-time. Brazil trailing Thailand by 2 goals. Kylian Mbappe. Gattuso snuffs out that chance.
Yeah, there's opportunities here for Juninho to go to work. He's just trying to prod and find those holes. It's into Ronaldo. Ronaldo across to Mbappe. It's blocked off, Harry.
5 minutes until half-time. Just thinking maybe Thailand will try and maintain possession, perhaps venture forward for the last attack of the half. But Juninho knows exactly what the mission is here. He wants to do that exact same thing, but he's given the ball away. How much time added on? 3 minutes. And with Brazil in possession, every time I say that, Wes, he gives it away. I think the last attack of the half, which way is it going to go? It's like neither nation wants it either way. It is half-time in leg 2. As things stand, Thailand 45 in-game minutes from being FIFAe World Cup winners.
You just have to wonder how much of those group stage game results against Thailand is playing on the minds of Brazil. I know the guys on the sofa mentioned it, you've mentioned it as well. 4 points to a possible 6 Thailand took off Brazil in the group stage. Now you're in the knockout. There isn't room for a draw anymore. You've got to go for it, Brazil.
Thailand attacking the right-hand goal to start this second half. It's headed in, it's really dangerous that time, defended well. This is such a composed and impressive performance by Chomkata. After the first 3 group stage games, where I was left wanting more. Picking up just 1 point from their first 3 group stage outings. Chomkata has turned the corner. And he's so close making history for his nation.
Yeah, he certainly went back to the lab after that, what he would probably feel for himself as that disappointing performance. Now he's getting to see the fruits of that work, the fruits of that training, that preparation, that sacrifice. We've heard all of the players here, both across mobile and console, talk about how much these players sacrifice and prep time and everything that goes into it. And he's now seeing the benefits of that. He is like micro steps away from becoming the FIFAe World Cup champion.
Are Brazil looking down the barrel of elimination in what is their 4th FIFAe World Cup final appearance in 4 years.
Coming on the field, number 19, Bebeto. Number 17.
We will need to see that championship mentality. Otherwise, it's bye-bye Brazil. And hello, world champions. Rodri here for Juninho. Just looking for an outlet. Puskás will hold things up nicely. Bebeto is trying to just push that back line as far as possible. And on the hour mark, we're going to see Juninho try and replicate that goal in the opening 5 minutes. With how fast mobile goes, the time much quicker. He needs a goal here. Flat towards Rodri, headed away by the Thai defence. That's given away again by Brazil, and Leao is in. Oh, this really could be the dagger. This could be the dagger here. He goes for goal. It's saved at the near post. Gave himself too much to do. A bit of a game of cat and mouse there, Wes.
Yeah, it's a wonderful through ball. Expertly counter-attacked by Chomkata. Rafael Leao, incredible speed on that item in-game. Wasn't going to be caught, but he couldn't beat the goalkeeper. Just narrowed the angle a little bit too much, but has won himself a corner as Chomkata, which, I know you'd probably want to score in that scenario, Harry, but a corner, it's not too bad. At least you've not put it out for a goal kick.
Very true. You get that corner, you get the territory that comes with it. That man needs to dig so deep, Wes, so deep. He needs to show the heart of a champion.
Does. He's got to summon all of that experience that he's got, all of that ability that we know that Juninho possesses. As we've said so many times already this week, pressure and environments that can do funny things to a player or two. Again, we have to remember back in that knockout phase, it took golden goal against both Greece and against Egypt just for Juninho to get to this moment. So he's been kind of really living on the edge pretty much since he got out of the groups.
The 23-year-old Chomkata is moments away from inheriting the crown. Surrendered by Malaysia 366 days ago in this very arena. Look at that score. Look at that trophy. It's palpable tension, Wes. It really is.
It really is. It really, really is. You can just feel with that extended pause, you can see that Juninho's still trying to make changes within his side. But those changes could be the end of him, or they could be the making of him. Such is the importance of knowing when to, what changes to make. Do you change shape? Do you change substitutes? As we can hear from the in-game PA announcer, there has been changes. This is a corner here for Chomkata.
Number 6, Oliveira. Coming on the field, number 21,
Needs
Nielsen.
to clear this corner to give himself a chance. Thailand swinging in. It's headed into a really dangerous error. Kola didn't even jump for that one. Importantly for Thailand, they have possession. And the more you keep possession, the more you're going to be able to run down that clock. But you need to make sure you don't give it away carelessly. That's nice pressing by Juninho. Brazil with just over 15 minutes left. Would love a goal here soon. Puskás, Alvarez, crossed in towards Bebeto. Does his best. But they'll recycle this. Rodri tries to feed any yellow shirt that's there, but there's not a canary in sight. Approaching 10 minutes left. Zico, dispossessed. Anywhere will do for Thailand. Rodri turns his man. Alvarez, that's just too wayward, too much juice on it. And Kola, well, he wins the header, and that is booted as far as the eye can see for Thailand.
Yeah, it's uncharacteristic from Amadou Onana. We expected to pick the ball up and drive forward, and instead for Thailand, they know, kick it to touch. You're in the closing stages. It's not pretty, but it's gamesmanship, it's game management, it's trying to take it away. You know you are moments from taking this world title against Brazil, one of the very favoured nations here. Why would you look to attack? You want to just batten down the hatches and hope that you can hold out the resistance.
It's given away by Brazil. And once again booted into touch. Thailand just taking as much time as possible. Down from that clock in the top left. There's a smile on the face of Chomkata. I think he knows exactly what I suspect. Made short by Brazil. 90th minute now. Danielson to the feet of Bebeto. There is 4 minutes added on. But the ball has stayed in play, and those 4 minutes will agonisingly tick away from Brazil. It's been such a long road. So much doubt, so much uncertainty here. As Juninho might get one back here late. But Chiellini to the rescue. This time Dan Burn putting a shift in. But Thailand have done it! Chomkata! You are FIFAe World Cup champion Thailand! They rise above them all!
It's a fantastic achievement for Thailand. They are worthy winners in this FIFAe World Cup final. Again, commiserations to Juninho. Gave a big battle in that second game, but it wasn't enough to overturn the deficit that Chomkata had left them in from game one.
A worthy winner. He came in, counted out by everyone. But now he has put Thailand on the very, very top of the tree. And as they both have shown all tournament long, there is nothing but respect for their fellow competitors. What a final we just saw. What a performance by that man, 23 years of age.
Yeah, just a little baby in eFootball terms, but I tell you what, he stood up for his nation, he stood up tall, and he put his best foot forward in the final. He went right up on the attack, but fantastic performance and achievement from him.
Big commiserations to the champion of the world, Juninho. But today, there was only one winner. It's Thailand.
Congratulations again to Thailand. I'd like everybody to give us a round of applause and welcome to the stage our VIP guests to award our medals. It has been a long and grueling journey for our players, each one representing their nations in hopes of being deemed worthy for the title of FIFAe World Cup champion. We started with regional online qualifiers down to 12 nations that joined us in Riyadh, but ultimately there could only be one winner. Give us a round of applause, please, for Christian Folk, the Director of Esports and Gaming at FIFA. A round of applause for Mr. Kobayashi, the Senior Executive Officer at Konami Digital Entertainment. Give it up for your silver medalist, Brazil! To our VIP guests, congratulations once more to our victors, Thailand. Milos, I believe you want to ask them a couple questions.
Absolutely. John Kata, congratulations on this massive win. Congratulations both to you and to Thailand. I just want to ask you, how does it feel to finally have your first major international victory?
Yeah, I'm very proud because now is the first tournament for Thailand. I want to thank you for my coach. It's very important for me because if not have him, I cannot do champion. And I thank for my team, for Thailand, for support. Yeah, dream come true.
Absolutely, a dream come true. Anything you'd like to say to all the fans, all the nation in Thailand watching you lift gold and receive this trophy after this massive tournament?
Yeah, thank you for Thailand fans for support me because this is the wrong tournament. I wait for this tournament in a long time, and now I promise for Thailand fans, I will be champion. Thank you.
The champion indeed. One more time for Jongkata. Please, you may go and collect what is rightfully yours.
For your FIFAe World Cup 2025 eFootball Mobile Champion, John Kata representing Thailand.
Well, what a deserved champion Chom Kata is for Thailand. We spoke about him heading into the tournament, maybe needing some consistency and a little bit of luck. He had that consistency. We've seen that over the last 4 days. But luck, it's nothing to do with luck. He had the talent and the skill in abundance, and especially, Chris, in that final when it really mattered.
He's just been quietly doing his work all week, hasn't he? It hasn't felt like he's been part of many of the featured games, or we haven't been like, oh, that was a brilliant result from Thailand. It's just been, oh yeah, Thailand won that game. We moved on in. Oh, Thailand won that game. Okay. Oh, but he keeps winning games. He wins his games through the knockouts and wins it when it matters in that grand final. Brilliant performance from top to bottom, from the start of the game on top immediately, finding that 2-goal lead, and then riding his luck through a couple of chances up against Brazil and getting the job done.
He's not going to be able to go under the radar any longer, is he, Abdulaziz? He's now world champion.
Of course. I mean, massive congratulations to Chom Kata. I mean, he played insanely well throughout the tournament. In the last 2 games, he started the game very, let's say, comfortably. He scored the first, he scored the second. He could have scored more, but he just slowed it down. Even in the second leg, he didn't rush things off. Even when Juninho missed that very, let's say, easy chance, but he came back, he scored the equalizer, and he, let's say, take it to the safe way. Massive congratulations, amazing player, totally worth a champion.
Alia, he's still so calm. It's like he's just done a regular matchup online.
I mean, when we saw that first goal in, he didn't even celebrate. Second goal, we saw a little bit of a smirk. And finally, the third goal, that's when we saw his emotions. But as Chris mentioned, he's just quietly gone through this whole tournament. We haven't really spoken about him. And I'm just happy Southeast Asia, 2 years in a row, we're the dominant nation in eFootball Mobile.
Yeah, of course, Malaysia 12 months ago, and now Thailand. Abdulaziz, what is this moment like when you finally get the trophy in your hand?
What a moment to be alive, because this is the moment that you, let's say, highlight all the work, all the time, all the pressure you have been through. Now he is the happiest man on earth because he achieved what he came for, and not only that, but he won it in a style.
How will this moment change his life, if it does at all?
Of course, in so many ways. Now he will definitely feel that he is a little bit different because he is the champion, and also because in media-wise, there are so many people who would love to take a picture with him.
There were 2 nations obviously represented in this grand final. We've talked about our champion. We have to talk about our valiant runner-up here as well in Juninho, because what a performance he's put on for the last 4 days.
He's been incredible, but there's been so many ups and downs, and there has been a couple of gaps here and there, but he's somehow managed to get himself through them. But it was when it kind of ran out of that grand final. We said, I mean, Abdulaziz said to me immediately, as soon as he missed that chance, he said he will regret that. And that's that moment. That's the moment that changed the game entirely. If he scores that 2-2, the momentum is going in one direction only. He will be thinking about that for weeks.
Why did you miss those shots in a grand final?
Honestly, maybe pressure, maybe a lack of focus, but it was so easy for him just to put it in the near post or even far post, but he decided to take the other way around.
Slightly wide, wasn't it, with Mbappe to the right, yes. I think it was, of the goal there. In terms of, still I'm going to keep to Brazil, he seems like he can't quite deal with his emotions, Ali, when it comes to the crunch time, when he's under pressure.
It's a shame because throughout the entire tournament, we've known Brazil to be constant attackers, going for goals, but today in this final, we just didn't see it. It's almost as though he was too scared to attack, the pressure of the moment, and it's the emotional side. It's fantastic, but it just seems like the situation just got too much for him.
Still young. Obviously, he has been world champion earlier in the year, and now runner-up. A massive year for him nonetheless.
Yeah, huge. I mean, making that grand final, and of course for the Brazilian nation, already a world champion. I think sometimes, you know, when it comes down to these grand finals and these moments, he's proved he can do it. And I think the emotion didn't just quite get going for him. It felt as if he was never really, it didn't take it by the horns on certain occasions. We know he's very much has the ability to do better than he did in that grand final. And I know the heart rate side of things, you know, we do often bring it up. But that was something I actually noticed during the game. It was really low for him. He typically is someone who's hyped up, and it was super, super low for Juninho all throughout that game, comparatively, typically to what it is. And I don't want to maybe read into it too much. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know about heart rates and intention, that kind of thing. But it's one of those things where you sort of think to yourself, okay, what was he really in that moment today? Was he maybe a little bit tired? Was there something else on his mind? Was he nervous? And did that just maybe not bring that A level from him? But ultimately, he has the support from his family and friends. He will come again next year, no doubt of that.
Abdulaziz, tell us about how difficult it is when you are 2-0 down after the first match. Because on paper we go, 2 goals, not too much. But what is that actually like?
Oh, it's really difficult because you know that you do not only need to come back in the game, but you need to stop conceding goals. And that's really hard. On the other side, the most, let's say, risky result that you can concede is just 2 goals, because this is like where you can, if you just manage to come back with only 1 goal, you can definitely come back for the second. And that's exactly what happened, but sadly he didn't take his chances. Anyway, John Tak, I think, or John Cat, I think. John Kata played really well in the second leg, and he managed to go and to seal the deal at the end of the day.
And Alia, you mentioned it, Chom Kata, he just breathed that sigh of relief after that second goal. He had that little smirk on his face. We saw it to camera. He knew he was in total control after match 1.
Yeah, and he had the confidence going into this game before knowing he was the only person that Brazil didn't manage to beat. That is a huge amount of confidence to have. And he's just such a calm person. And I think that hugely played to his advantage today, because Brazil, before they kicked off, he was taking a lot of deep breaths. And we haven't seen that from him throughout the entire tournament. And if we talk about missed moments, towards the end of the first leg, he had that near shot that was fantastic keeper movement from Thailand, but it's just missed chances.
Yeah, it was the third time they'd played each other, these two nations, and Juninho was hoping it would be third time lucky. It wasn't to be. He goes home as the runner-up for this year's grand final. Let's hear his thoughts. He's the CJ.
I'm here with Juninho after that incredible grand final match. What were your thoughts on that game?
Sobre a final, meu adversário jogou melhor, não consegui jogar bem durante as 2 partidas, e o resultado foi justo e mereceu ser campeão.
My opponent was better. I couldn't play my game in any 2 of the matches, and was a just result. He deserved to be the champion.
But you've had an incredible FIFAe World Cup. You've provided so much excitement. We love the hair as well. You have to be proud of your tournament.
Sobre a campanha, você estava orgulhoso, você tem ótimo corte de cabelo e fez uma ótima campanha. Tá orgulhoso da campanha?
Tô orgulhoso da campanha, é um torneio muito difícil, representando minha seleção. Infelizmente faltou a final, né? Jogar bem na final para vencer. Mas estou feliz com o meu desempenho e continuar trabalhando para buscar os próximos torneios.
I'm proud about my tournament. It's a very difficult tournament. I couldn't win at last, but I'm going to chase the next tournaments.
And you've had so much support from all your friends and family here and watching back at home. Do you have anything to say to your supporters?
Só agradecer a todos que estavam na torcida e apoiando. Agradeço do fundo do coração e infelizmente não deu hoje, mas vamos voltar mais fortes aí nos próximos torneios.
I'm really thankful from the bottom of my heart. I thank everybody back home in Brazil, both here in the stadium. I'm going to be back stronger.
Well, we can't wait to see you next year. Well done again. Thank you.
What a year that man's had, though. A world champion title a couple of months ago and now runner-up. There's not many people can say that in a year, are there?
Oh, of course. I mean, what he has done and what he has achieved already is something remarkable, I would say. He really was close to maybe win the whole thing here, but I think Thailand, the player, played insanely well at the end of the day. But also, as he mentioned, that he wants to come back and win. And that's the good thing about that.
That is the sign of a champion, isn't it, Alia?
I think he's got the mentality for it. It's a shame that he came so close but didn't manage to this year. But I'm glad he's still seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And he's glass half full, I suppose, a positive from every situation.
Well, Juninho is our runner-up, but of course our champion is Chom Kata. And of course that means he is our axe player of the tournament, I suppose, as well. We can't not vote for him, can we? Oh, no, it is actually a vote. You guys can vote for yours, but I think I know where most of you will go. He, of course, is there. Our 2 grand finalists and then our semi-finalists as well.
So I put Daniel in there as well. They asked me, is there anybody we kind of wanted to maybe think about through this tournament as far as like what the impact
console and mobile
they brought in. And yeah, just a really, really good tournament from Panisbal, of course, from Greece. He really impressed us to see him come through. Only been playing mobile a couple of months, and for Daniel as well, just to see how well he did throughout his group stage. And okay, he may have fallen a hurdle in quarterfinals, but Daniel is a player who is growing year on year, and of course, our 2 grand finalists.
And a fan's favourite.
Yeah.
Where would you go? I've said where I'm going. I'm going Chom Kata. You cannot not vote for your world champion.
I feel like my obvious answer is obviously Chom Kata, just because I will always support the Southeast Asian nation. But he went on to win the entire tournament. He's been fantastic throughout. He's so humble when he won. You know, sometimes you'll see people get up and scream, but first thing he did, put his shoes back on, went over to Brazil and congratulated them and the fans and the supporters, which is beautiful to see.
All 3 of you, I just want your final thoughts on this mobile tournament, because we've concluded it now. Abdulaziz, I'll start with you.
I love it. It's my first time actually to cast such a thing, and I really enjoyed it from the first game to the last. And also I had the privilege to be with you all. I mean, Alia, Chris, and of course you, Rachel.
I mean, I am now an eFootball fanatic for mobile. I actually downloaded the game on my phone last night. I know we had a bit of a lie-in today, but I was up till 1 a.m. playing it. So maybe you'll see me next year for England.
You've got a long flight home, as do you. Will you be playing it as well?
Well, we needed some representation for England, and honestly, I won't bother just because I think Ali will have me pipped, to be honest with you. No, look, it's been a brilliant tournament every single year. We really look forward to this, and especially the mobile competition for me, it's fast, it's fierce, it's so intense. And just to see the different regions we get to come through, and ultimately one winner in Chom Kata for Thailand, thoroughly deserved.
Absolutely. Well, you probably can see behind us, I'm not sure if you can, but the floor is emptying out, and that's because we're getting ready to build it up again. We'll have a new audience in for 6:30. We kick off now with the console tournament. We are back here at 6 p.m. with the build-up, because we get to crown another world champion. It's a European affair. It's Italy taking on Poland. Come back and join us for that one.
Extra! Read all about it. World Cup prep begins.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Trading for World Cup in North America has begun. And you would not believe what these guys are up to.
White 17! White 17! Hot!
Preparations spiral out of control across the globe as the hunt for World Cup glory intensifies. Buckle up, folks. We're just getting started.
Bruno.
Mix up, punctual. questo suo unico destino.
When you're all in, anything can happen. Enjoy the moment with a Coca-Cola.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Reach your impossible with the AI-powered Legion Pro 7i, Lenovo Legion.
Slim like a whisper, sharp in the hand, never unplanned. Every move got his game, smooth like ice, cold like flame. What's your edge?
Hello, Moto. Welcome to the world's best airline, where the journey begins before you fly, where lounges are a destination in themselves, and your world is always within reach. A place where you're looked after, and the smallest details bring the biggest smiles. This is Qatar Airways, the world's best for a record 9th time.
في السفر حتلاقي مفاجآت جديدة عليك، وهذا يمكن يخليك تتردد شوي. مع فيزا كل شيء مقبول، حتى ما يعض، صح؟ مقبولة عندنا، لأن هالخطوة اللي تسبق إنك تسوي شيء كنت دائما تشوفه مستحيل، وهذا اللي يميزك.
The digital world speaks the language of zeros and ones. And now, with advanced digital systems, countless new numbers join the field. A 7 can break the pattern. A 9 can be the game changer. At Globant, cutting-edge technologies are at the core of everything we do, driving new and innovative solutions to shape the future of FIFA and companies across every industry. We are the official tournament sponsor of the FIFAe Finals 2025. Globant, technology that dares to delight.
What was that?
Smells finer than the finest perfumes. New Axe Fine Fragrance.